Hey everybody, it's Carol Billing and we're getting ready to start Education 204. So I'm really excited to see you in my online class and lots of familiar faces, which is always fun because you kind of know how I work and we can skip all that formal stuff or figuring each other out because you already get me and we can get started. So that's awesome. So I love that. Okay, office hours are a little different this year because I'm teaching on Monday and Wednesdays. So I have them right after the class. I teach from 10 to 11:15, I think. And then Mondays, there's Ed Club, 11:15 to about 12:30, and then my office hour after that. So I'm basically on campus from 10 to 2, Monday and Wednesdays for sure. I'll probably roll into my office around 9 if you need to pop in and visit me, but I'm also sometimes in a panic to get things ready for my class, so just bear with me. Sometimes I come in at 9 though, and I already have everything dialed and I'm open to talking and whatever. So anyway, official office hours are those, but of course always on Zoom and by appointment. And there's all my contact information. If you're not on my Facebook, please grab it and get on it because I post stuff up there all the time. And I also have alumni on that Facebook page now who follow that page, and that's helpful if you are going to the same college. You can talk about borrowing a text or whatever. So we're kind of creating this network of CWI Ed people who come through one of my classes, and then we end up sort of staying in contact, which is really great. You can also network for jobs and stuff later on. All right, so new syllabuses this year, syllabi. Basically the same information, just in a new format. I covered all of that. Email, I try to get it within a day. If it's a simple question, I'll answer you on my phone right from wherever I am. Sorry, just got a call. Forgot what I was doing. Email. I try to answer it right away if I can on my phone, and then if it's something I have to look up when I'm sitting down at a computer, then you'll probably get a reply later that evening. That's what I try to do. I usually, during the school year, I work pretty much every day. There really isn't a day that I'm not on the computer. I should not be on Sundays. I should bar that, but it always ends up happening anyway. So typically within a day or two, I should be able to answer your question, and usually I can answer them right away. So make sure you read through all this so you're familiar with the course description. It's online, fully online, and we finish around the 14th, I guess, technically. We will look at the course calendar and go through dates on that. But this is kind of nice because it gives you the objectives and outcomes, what you're going to learn. And these are how they're aligned to the teacher education core principles. And more. So what you're expected to learn and how you're expected to demonstrate that you've learned it. It's kind of a simple way to look at that. Signature assignments, you're going to start seeing those in all of your classes, and it's a document or an artifact that you create from the class that shows what you've learned. And so for this class, it's called the Statement of Informed Beliefs, and it's an essay. It's very similar if you've had my 201. I teach it the same way. I break it into journals and then we put it together at the end, but it's basically a multi-part essay. Grading policy is the same as if you've had a previous class. The first week you need to, at the very least, log into Blackboard and get started working. So I'm looking to make sure you're in the Blackboard and at least looking around. And then after that, I just do the attendance based on if you turned in assignments. So here it is right here. Log into Blackboard, complete assignments. And then we also have another day, like, I don't know, maybe the 5th week or something. And if students aren't doing work on the 5th week, then we turn you into student services and they give you a call to try to find out what's going on. I shouldn't say turn you in because it's not like that, but it's kind of like that because they sort of hunt you down if you're not doing the work and trying to find out what's going on. All right, retention is a big thing this year, so you're going to hear a lot of teachers trying to make sure that students are staying active in class. All right. I try to keep my record book or my grade book up to date. So if you see, okay, yeah, if it's gone to Blackboard, please don't ask me to open it. And this is always a challenge because I always want everyone to be successful, and so I always want to just make a little accommodation here or there. And then by week 12, I'm really mad at myself because I have all these back assignments to grade, and it's really not fair to the people who move mountains to get things done on time. So that's my lecture on that. But I'm probably more mean online than face to face. So I'll tell you no on email. I'll just be like, no, I'm not opening that. Sorry. Whereas face to face class is a little bit harder for me to be that mean person. So please try to get your work done on time. And then there's a late work policy. This is my formal late work policy right here, so make sure you read it. There's multiple steps involved, and really, if you miss one thing, it's not going to tank your grade. You just want to be consistent in getting your work done on time. Grading is there. You'll notice I have a very small window for for D grades. I do that on purpose. So either you're here and 100% or you're not, and that's kind of how I make it difficult to not be one or the other. That makes any sense at all. I learned that teaching high school to make the D window really small. And basically what happens is students try harder because they don't want to get an F. So if there's a D, well, a D's fine. But if it's like, oh, the D's really small, I better try a little harder to make sure I'm not getting an F. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, it totally works. 2 weeks. When a grade's in Blackboard, check them every week, make sure they're correct, and if I've switched numbers or I've totally missed it, please let me know right away. So once a grade has been in the Blackboard for 2 weeks, it's final, it's like cement, and it is not going to change. Sorry about that. All right, textbooks. These are, either version will work fine. There's a quiz over every chapter. This book is really thick. I think it's like swimming in pea soup. It's just so dense, but the information is really good and it's really accurate. I mean, you're going to read stuff in the book and then you're going to see it in the class through your observation hours and any other time you're in class. So I think it's really useful, but I also think it could be a year-long course. I mean, it's just that much information. So don't freak out. I know the chapters are really deep and thick, and then the quizzes are much like my 201 quizzes. Not terribly hard, but I just want to emphasize the main points to make sure that you're pulling out of the reading the important parts of the chapter. And you're probably thinking, well, how am I supposed to know that? You'll figure it out over the first couple of quizzes. And again, don't worry about it because you have 12. So if you blow 2, you still have 10 more to do, and you'll be fine. All right, I would definitely get them on Kindle or an electronic version and rent them because you don't need them after this class. I don't foresee you needing them in any other class. If you can borrow it from a friend or if you're comfortable using the one in the library, more power to you. Okay, enough on that. And if you get an electronic one, this is what I do with my courses, is you can search by keyword, which really makes looking up specific information so fast, and it's so much better than a paper book. And also, you're going to be teaching with electronic text, so you kind of need to make that change. So there's my lecture on making the move from paper to electronic because you're a teacher and that's where it's going. All right, course calendar, I'll go through that in a separate video. I don't know where I am with time, so I will try not to take too long. Course expectations. Attendance a couple times a week. Probably the most important thing is that you print out the course calendar and go through that and make sure you make your deadlines. Deadlines are Mondays at 5. Pretty consistent in most, if not all, of my courses. This one's important because this is your voice to the department and the deans and stuff. Please use that eval for all your courses because the deans read them. They read the comments for real. And so if you have a bad instructor, that's a direct line to the dean to say, hey, don't give this person any classes and this is why. They are late to class all the time, or they ramble, or they talk about their kids, or whatever it is. Give them that feedback because they'll either coach that faculty and the faculty will improve, or we'll get somebody else. Because this is important. What we teach is important. There's nothing that we teach that's extra. All right. Turn around. Graded within a week. Yeah, sometimes that happens. I try. That's definitely the goal. Projects. Oh, look, I gave myself 2 weeks there. That's great. Realistically, every semester I try different techniques for grading, and I share this with you because you're going to be a teacher. And so the best one has been to get up at 5 a.m. and grade for an hour every day before I actually start my day. When I did that, I was on top of my grading and hit these 1 week turnarounds. So we'll see how that goes. I have one technique that works. A lot of times I end up grading just a couple times a week for a couple of hours, and then I tend to fall behind. Okay, attendance. There's no real attendance, but you need to check in periodically because I look at that. It's really easy for me to see in the grade book when you checked in last, and so I'm going to be checking that to make sure you're coming in at a regular time. Okay, all this is kind of standard information. You can read through that. Otherwise, I think that's all the high points and probably more information that you needed to know. But anyway, long story short, I'm super excited, and the concepts we cover in this class I think are totally fascinating, and it really shows you the power of teaching that has nothing to do with academics, nothing to do with academics, and everything to do with helping a child be a successful adult. Okay, see you later, bye.